How's it going, everybody? It's Batman, back with Batman vlogs, Batmobile vlogs, and I have a few topics that I wanted to get to talk about today. And let me get my paper out. Wrote down a few topics, and I picked these topics because I feel that they're interesting, and I also have an opinion on it. So first topic is man punches a kangaroo viral video, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. It's it's a pretty short clip about, you know, a guy trying to save his dog apparently, and I don't know what the backstory is. I'm sure there's some other backstory about about this video, but basically the guy punches a kangaroo. So how are we supposed to feel about that? Let me just, you know, mention that this video got over 25 million views now, and I guarantee it's gonna get even more than that, you know. But you know, it's like, how are we supposed to feel about creating YouTube viral videos, and like everybody, all the kids are probably watching this, and they're like, okay, so in order for me to make a video, I have to punch an animal in the face, and then people will like it, you know. Like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, we don't want our kids to be trying out, like, oh, maybe if I punch an even more dangerous animal, then I'll get maybe if I punch a shark, or like a great white shark that's like, you know, who knows, like 20 feet long, maybe if I punch that in the face, maybe I'll get, you know, like even more views, or you know, maybe I'll be successful off of that video. That's how I feel. It's just like what have we come to? Like, viral, like, it's like people click on it because they're like, oh, a guy does something, so they're like, they want to click on it, they want to see what it's about. And I have to say, I watched it twice, you know, but at the same time, when you get your reaction is like, okay, you watch the video, but you're like, how do you feel about that? You don't feel good about knowing that people are getting all these views. I mean, I don't know the backstory, but you know that, okay, I've talked about this too long already. 3 minutes already. It's not that important. I'm just saying, like, that kind of videos, yeah, I don't know. And another thing that's on the trending list, so I'll give it a little bit of time to talk about, is everything wrong with movies. And I've watched a few of these, and I have to say about this, that about these videos, like, I don't really like what he's doing, because, you know, they're videos that I like, and he's over here dissing every single thing, and he's like hardcore dissing on these movies. He's not like, oh yeah, they did this wrong or this wrong. He's like, he's being you know, like, really into it. He's really, you know, thinking into it, but it's all with his opinion. Like, when people watch a movie, they're like, wow, like, okay, Finding Dory, I watched that in the movie theater. I was like, I loved it, you know, to me it was great. And then he's going over there and he's just like, oh, they didn't do this right, or this, I didn't like this. And then iRobot is another one, and he's talking about, oh, they, you know, just everything about it. And then, like, Independence Day, I didn't watch that, but I watched his review, and it's just everything that he doesn't like, he's mentioning. And I don't like that he's doing that to videos that a lot of people like, and he's just dissing them. But, you know, he's getting his views, so people want to watch that, that's fine, you know, whatever. But I don't like that it's trending and they're just dissing videos that I like. I didn't like that. And then the last topic we're gonna talk about is well, the big topic that I have on here is Star Wars Rogue One. So as you know, I'm Batman Skywalker. So I really love the Star Wars, the whole saga or trilogy or whatever you want to call it. I love the entire thing as a whole, and I have to say that the newer movies might, kind of kill that, because let's talk about the first movies. It's the plot. I mean, the animations is not that great, obviously. We're talking about back in the day now. So the animations weren't great, but what made the movies were the characters. Like, they really had some really good characters, and that has, like, till today, it's like, who are the good characters and the bad characters of the movie. Like Darth Vader, he's evil. Like Boba Fett, and they're like really good characters, like really thought up, really creative. And you got like Darth Maul, who only gets one movie. This guy should have a whole movie to himself. Like, that's how awesome that guy's, like, the creativeness went into making that. And there's a lot of characters that don't get enough time, and they're like really creative, and that's the characters that people like, that aren't getting the time in the movies. And then they're making new characters coming in the movies just because they're a good actor. Like, I don't know what the actor's name, but I know he's in the Ip Man movies, and they're just throwing him into Star Wars. It's like, this guy has nothing to do with Star Wars. He's a martial artist. You shouldn't be throwing just random people inside of the movie. You guys need to make characters, or bring characters into the movie that are really eye-catching, like Stormtroopers, Boba Fett, Darth Vader. All of these characters that are really creative, and people want to see. That's the characters you should be bringing into the movie. That when you see them, you're like, that's Star Wars. Not when I look at this guy, I'm like, okay. Like, Jedis are not as interesting as the other characters, as you can see from all of they're not as interesting. They're just kind of like, I don't know how you put it, like, they're plain and boring, but I guess that's part of it. So they're very disciplined. Like, Jedis are very disciplined, so they're not as interesting as other characters that are like aggressive, and you have behavioral, like, issues and whatnot. Like Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker. They have like really bright and colorful personalities, and I think that's what people are looking for, is that bright personality. So I don't know, it could do good. I don't think it's gonna do as good. I don't think this movie is gonna do as good as what they think it's gonna do. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say about that, is that I love Star Wars because of my uncle. He's always been a Star Wars fan. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. And then you got another thing is PewDiePie he's closing in on 50 million subscribers, and I'm really, like, that's a really big accomplishment. You can't really fathom, like, that, the feeling you would have, like, knowing that 50 million people subscribe to you, and you would be like so happy. But to me, I'm not worried about people subscribing or whatever. I just want to talk about topics that interest me, and that's what I'm putting out on my channel, so that people can get an idea of, like, who I am and what kind of things that I like. And I'm sure a lot of other people have the same feelings, or maybe they feel completely opposite about the topics and the opinions that I'm expressing about each topic. So it's really good to talk about these things, and I love to vlog, so that I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna come up with more topics, and I'll be right back at you with some more Batman Skywalker. You guys have a good day.